We're going to be starting at the top of our mat today, keeping the feet at hips width. And then just take a moment here to settle your body into a simple standing position. Allow the arms to rest beside you and close your eyes. Taking slow, deep breaths in and out of the nose. Softening the area of your toes, slight bend to your knees. Set the shoulders down and back, keeping the chest lifted. And just taking about 2 more mindful breaths. And gently begin to open the eyes, bringing your palms to heart center. Take a slight bounce to the knees as you inhale the arms up toward the ceiling, slightly looking back, hinging from the hips, coming into a forward fold. Now you're just going to hang out in your forward fold here for a little bit. So take the crown of the head parallel to the mat, and then just allow your body to settle. Enjoying that stretch right into the back hamstrings and glutes. And as you get more and more comfortable, straightening out through the knees, and then again soften the area of your upper body to deepen the opening of your forward fold. Taking your palms to the shins now, inhale a flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms and coming into your downward dog. Once you get into that down dog, feet are at hips width. Just give yourself a moment, if it's your first one, to just walk out the feet, sway the hips. Even shake the head. You don't want any kind of tension in your body. Keep pushing through those palms. All 10 fingers are grounded. And then finding that length through your neck. Good. Walking the big toes together to touch, dropping down to the knees and coming into a few cat-cows from tabletop. So roll the shoulders back on an inhale, lifting up the head and tailbone. And then exhale, rounding out through the spine. Pull your belly in and back. And then just continue to cycle through a few more cat-cows. You can close your eyes here and just really allow your body to be organic as you move in and out of the posture. And really making sure that during that tune-in at the beginning of practice, you're able to pay attention if there's any kind of new injuries in the body. Always modify at any point. Listen to what it is that you can and cannot do. Good. Taking one more inhale. And on your next exhale, just coming into a neutral spine. We're going to start by walking your kneecaps together as well, if they're not there. And then extend your left leg back. Now, instead of reaching the right arm forward, we're actually going to lift the left arm. Yeah, so take a little bit of your time setting it up. The entire left side of the body is up and off of the mat. And try to keep your shoulder square and your hip. So you're getting a little bit more into that side hip. Tucking the tailbone, lift the back heel so you're feeling that glute engage. And then keep reaching with intention the left arm forward. Now we're going to switch the arms, keeping your left leg still lifted. Okay, it's up to you if you feel like you could find more balance by tucking the right toes under, or maybe the top of the foot is flat on the mat. But let's lift up the arm and the leg a little bit more on an inhale, And on your next exhale, driving the elbow and knee to touch, just under your belly. Inhale, find your extension. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Good. Continue to move here for a few more. Good. Taking your last one back to your inhale, lifting arm and leg before exhale, releasing down. Quick set, child's pose, 2 breaths. For whatever reason, if you're feeling heated today, agitated, or any kind of more negative emotion, then exhale out of the mouth. Okay, when you're ready to come back up to center, plant those palms. All 10 fingertips are nice and wide, setting your shoulder scapula down and back. And then inhale that right leg up and back. Now it's easier to find a focus point on the mat in front of you. And then keep your focal point there as your right arm comes up. So again, the entire right side of the body is up and off of the mat. You're not stacking the shoulder and hips. You're trying to keep them more square to the mat. Keep squeezing that back right glute, finding that extension with the right fingertips, reaching forward and really kicking and driving that right leg back. Taking another breath before we simply switch the arms. So now you're coming into something maybe a little bit more comfortable for balance. Feeling that pelvic floor slightly engaged to find that length in through your lumbar spine. And on your next inhale, as you lift the arm and the leg, exhale, bring the elbow to knee. Inhale, find the extension again. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good. Keep moving with your body. About 2 more. You can tap into that Ujjayi breath or just find a regular breath rhythm. And on your next exhale, slowly release the arm and the leg down. Quick set, child's pose, in through the nose and out of the mouth. Good. From tabletop, let's get into that downward dog. Palms are staying shoulders width. Again, walk your dog, finding that lengthening sensation in the back legs. Inhale the heels up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, grounding your heels down as you continue to use those arms to push the chest palate toward the thighs. Doing that just one more time. Inhale the heels up. Exhale, grounding the heels down. And then slowly bend your right knee, coming into a deep runner's lunge. So you're here for a few breaths. Now the ultimate goal is to try to keep everything nice and tight in toward the midline of the body with both palms grounded. So it might feel a little awkward, maybe if the body is just differently shaped or proportioned. You might need props to support you. So just hanging out here for a few more breaths. Instead of coming up to balance on the knee, let's just work on getting into that hip. So really allow the hips to settle into your posture set. Going a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then just gently angle the chin down, soften your eyes, and then just taking a few mindful breaths here. Good. As you slowly start to open the eyes, lift up the left knee, inch your left toes forward a little bit, and then just coming into a balancing pose. Now, if you got props there or maybe a wall, you can help yourself up while keeping the back left leg lifted. You're coming into a plain pose here. If you want challenge, you could reach the arms forward into a warrior 3, but just pay attention to that back left kneecap. It should be facing the mat, and continue to extend through your spine. Okay, strong core. Bring your upper body so your shoulders align to the hips in a standing position, big toes touch. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, palms to prayer. Good. Bounce to the knees. Inhale the arms up toward the ceiling. Hinging from the hips, forward fold. You're here for 2 breaths. Getting into that stretch. Feet are at hips width. Taking your palms onto the shins. Inhale, a flat spine. Exhale, deepen your forward fold momentarily as you plant the palms and then come into your downward dog. From here, keep looking past your inner thighs. Just take a moment to settle into that down dog resting pose and just allow the backs of the calves to enjoy the stretch. We're just going to switch sides here. So bending your left knee, let's step that left foot forward. Knee to heel alignment, coming into that deep runner's lunge again. And then again, roll your shoulder blades back, set up your posture, whatever it may look like. And then take your eye gaze to look down. So slightly pull the left hip back on itself so your hips are actually squaring up to the top of the mat. So it's just a micro adjustment, nothing big. And then just pay attention to the muscles of your face on this one. You shouldn't be gripping your teeth right now or tightening the forehead. Rather, you're putting the discomfort and you're using your breath to find a little bit more flexibility. So you're here for about 2 more breaths, nice and slow. Good, and when you're ready, tuck the right toes under, lifting up that back knee, tiptoe that right leg forward, coming into a nice balancing plain pose. So keep that right kneecap internally rotated. Both sides might look entirely different. Maybe on this side you can't get into the warrior 3, or maybe the palms need to be on some type of a prop the entire time. But wherever you are, try to lift up that back right leg, really finding length. Taking 1 more breath, engaging through your lower belly, and as you slowly bring yourself up to a stand, big toes touch, arms to the ceiling, inhale, exhale, palms to prayer. Good, we're going to take a step or 2 back, and you're going to come into the middle of your mat, and then turn to face the right side of your mat. So you're standing lengthwise, and then start to widen your stance, okay? We're going to come into one of my favorite postures, goddess pose. So you're going to take the toes out a little bit, bending at the knees, and you could start with the elbows just on the thighs. Just take a moment here to open up through the inner thighs, maybe even find a little bit of a twist if you choose, where you take the right palm just toward the inner thigh, and then you just drop that shoulder and look past the opposite shoulder to come into a full lower back twist. Now you could always come back here if the posture becomes too much. But goddess pose is setting your shoulders right on top of the hips, engaging through your core, and then taking the arms up. You can come into Yan Mudra, where the index and the thumb touch, and then you're hanging out here. Okay, we're gonna be here for about 2 minutes. I'm joking, just 10 seconds. There will be a class where we throw in a 2-minute goddess pose. In some of my classes, I used to do 5 minutes, so you guys are lucky. Okay, taking just 3 more breaths. We want to try to pay attention that we're not lifting up, you're staying grounded, and that you're not going too far down. The hips are the same height as the knees to protect the joints. Ground into your heels, stand up, arms up. Palms sweep down to the sides of the body. Good, 3 shoulder rolls, forward and up, inhale. Out of the mouth, back and down. 2 more. Good. Taking the right toes to face toward the back side of the mat. Back right leg, heel to left arch alignment. And let's get into a warrior 2. So you could widen your stance if you need. And you want to try to take that right kneecap and find intention that it's pulling over toward the right pinky toe. And then just take about 2 more breaths here. We're not going to be in these postures for too long today. Really reaching those fingers opposite from each other. Take the left palm down toward the left leg. Reverse your warrior without changing your shape. So keep that right knee bent. If your neck is okay, you could look up to the ceiling or just look down toward the right armpit. Okay, keeping the tailbone tucked, slight engagement in through Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor. Beautiful. Coming back into Warrior 2. And then let's reach the right fingertips toward that side of the room where the right knee is bent. Take the elbow down onto the thigh and then reach the left arm up. Okay, you're here for just 2 breaths, so not too long again. Just enjoying the stretch for whatever it is in the body. From Warrior 2, come back. Palms to the hips. Nice, straighten out the right leg. Take the toes to face that side of the mat. Inhale, pop the chest forward. Exhale, coming into a forward fold. Okay, and keeping the palms shoulders width. And then deepen your set. Maybe the forearms drop down. Maybe you could relax the head. Okay, you're not here for a long bit, but, or rather I should say with that, you want to be uncomfortable, okay? So rock the weight maybe toward the heels if you feel a deeper stretch, or towards the pads of the feet. Keep lengthening the tailbone up. Good work. Taking the palms to the hips. Inhale, a flat spine, looking a couple steps forward. Hold your posture there, and then slowly engage your core as you spring yourself back into your stand. Let's switch sides, taking the left toes toward that front edge of the mat. Left heel to back arch alignment, setting up into that Warrior 2. Okay, we will be coming into a second set of Goddess pose. But for now, let's just set the shoulders down and back. Keep that chest palate nice and lifted. And then deepen that left knee lunge with intention, taking that left knee toward the pinky toe, and then feeling that tailbone slightly tucking under so you could feel that opening right onto the right inner hip. Reverse your warrior, taking the right palm onto the back leg. Inhale your left arm up. And once again, sometimes it's just about breathing into the stretch. Now again, if you've gone too far, if your breath is very rigid or broken, come out a little bit. Find that area that you can hold on to for 1 more breath. Nice job. Warrior 2, go into that reach, and then exhale, left elbow, thigh, onto the thigh, and then reaching the right arm up. Good, roll that right shoulder blade back. Get that opening, feel the weight shift toward the outsteps of your feet. Find your focus point. Good, 1 more breath. Engage through your core. From Warrior 2, straighten out that left leg, palms to the hips. Inhale, lifting up through the chest, and then exhale, hinging from the hips, and once again coming into your forward fold. If you want to add on, maybe you interlace the fingers behind the back, and then reach the arms up toward the ceiling. Okay, taking just a couple more counts. This time, as you bring the palms toward the floor, if you've lifted them overhead, angle the heels in, bend your knees, second set of Goddess pose. Now, if it's not there for you today, you could just hang out in this posture where it's kind of like you're ready to throw a football to start a game. But if you're ready, for only half of the time, you're coming right back up into your goddess pose. Elbows the same height as your shoulders. Pull those elbows back, lifting up through the chest. You're here for 5. Smiling will help. 4, 3, 2.5. Stand up, inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, slowly release the arms down. Heel toe the feet together to touch. Turn toward the top of the mat. And then from here, inhale, just lengthen through the chest. It's up to you if you want to bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Nothing fancy here. You're just going to be dropping down onto the knees. If you feel pain in the lower back, knees together, child's pose. Or knees apart if you want the opening mainly through the chest, and then allow the chest to come through between your thighs. Relaxing your head all the way. You're in that resting pose here for a few breaths. And getting ready for your add-on.